Welcome back, everybody, to the 2011 Little League World Series here at Lomity Stadium in South Williamsport. From the Williamsport Sun-Gazette, I'm Mitch Rupert. Standing alongside of me, the Dr. Chris Massey. We're here to talk to you a little bit today, Monday afternoon, about what's going on here at the Little League World Series. And Chris, the first thing we got to talk about is that big game tonight. Keystone, the team from Clinton County, Pennsylvania, the hometown team, only 30 miles away, playing Louisiana tonight in a do-or-die game. This is only the second time Keystone's had to face a do-or-die game, the first time being back in the state tournament. But do you think that experience is going to help them here tonight?
You know, even though it's only the first time they've had, or the second time they've had to do it, it makes them veterans compared to Louisiana, who was undefeated until yesterday. So I think they at least have an edge in that they've been here before, they've done it before, and in the state tournament they rallied with a good performance to win that game. So I think that and the crowd being out here and them being used to that by now, I think that all works to their favor.
Who do you expect to pitch tonight for Keystone, and what can we expect from that?
I think it'll be Landon Breon. Alex Garber was used up the other night. Starter for the first game, Cole Reeder. He still can't come back because of the pitch count rules. But Landon Breon was effective up at regionals. He had a 2.25 ERA, won a game up there. He came in and pitched two quality innings against New Jersey. The completion of that game went from Saturday to Sunday to Monday. So he's used to pitching in these big games. And Bill Garbutt was pretty confident after the game on Saturday. He didn't come out and say that Breon was pitching, but he said he liked his pitching options going into that game. So I think you'll see him. I think Garbutt's probably hoping he gets 4 or 5 innings out of him and he can go to Tyler McCloskey. I don't think he wants to use McCloskey before 5th inning minimum because he's been so great in that closer's role. But I think he's feeling pretty good about having Landon out there.
So one big advantage Keystone has shown all the way through the Little League All-Star season, they don't need their starter to go 6 innings because they have that hammer at the back end of the bullpen, Tyler McCloskey. What makes him so difficult for opposing batters to hit?
I think he just brings the heat at you. And for a kid that small, you don't think he can get it up near 70 miles an hour. But he's throwing in the high 60s, and I think he just challenges him. He just says, "Here it is, try to hit it." And he puts it in the right spots, and teams haven't been able to catch up to him yet. And I think a lot of times it's a good change of pace. Maybe Alex Garber kept the team off balance the other night with a couple of pitches, and then McCloskey comes in and just brings you heat. And so I think it works to the advantage of sort of a different look. But there's no secrets to what he's going to do. He's just going to come right after you, and he's got that nasty boy closer's mentality, and it's really worked for Keystone. For a kid his size, I admire his toughness, being able to come in time after time in these big do-or-die games and get the job done.
For 5 days into the tournament here on Monday afternoon, we have a consolation game going on behind us. Currently, Aruba is leading South Dakota 3-0. But in these 5 days, the cream of the tournament is starting to rise to the top. And maybe the most pleasant surprise is a Montana team that's 2-0.
Yeah, if you would have told me Montana would be 2-0 in the winners bracket final coming in here, I would have laughed at you. I knew they were a good team, and they're the kind of team that doesn't beat themselves. But no way did I think they could beat a team like Louisiana. You just look at the history here. It's almost always south, southeast, southwest, west, and a team from the north like Montana, the extreme north like Montana, that had never even been to a regional final before. The chances of them to succeed here are slim coming in, but they don't wow you. They don't have any superstars, but like I said, they don't beat themselves. They're so fundamentally sound. They've got the pitching and defense right now, and that'll take you a long way when you don't beat yourself.
Obviously, they have a big test coming up in the winners bracket final. Going to play a California team. We finally got to see Hagen Danner throw last night. Lived up to everything we thought he was capable of. The scary part is they still got 4 or 5 deep they can go to in this pitching staff. Do you think Montana can give California a run?
I'm not going to count Montana out. I made that mistake yesterday. Basically stood here and said Louisiana's going to win. There's no doubt about it. And Montana made me look dumber than I already am. So I'm not going to count them out, but it's going to be really tough. Yeah, like you said, California's so deep. Braden Salzman, the kid they started in the first game, he can pitch. Nick Prado, who hasn't given up a hit since regional started, he's available. Rio Takada, he pitched well in the first game. He's there. They just have so many pitching options they can throw out there. Whereas Montana, they can go to Cole McKenzie. He's their top guy, but I don't know if he's the kind that can overpower a lineup like California. So they definitely have the options there. And the scary thing, if they get past that game, looking ahead to the U.S. final, is Hagen Danner, as good as he was last night. That was probably an average performance for him because he struggled with his control early and his location. And he still pitches a 2-hit shutout for 3 innings, so that gives you a glimpse of what he's capable of. And when these guys are on pitching-wise, they're tough to beat.
Still a dangerous team in the losers bracket of the U.S. field is that Warner Robins Georgia team. We haven't seen their ace, Jake Fromm, pitch yet, but the man-child has made his presence known here. You want to talk about more people from this Warner Robins Georgia team, but the kid just plays. He's got a hurt back. He hit a big 3-run home run in the first inning yesterday. How big a part of this Warner Robins team is he?
He's huge. I mean, he kind of carried him in that game. Logan Arnett pitched a great game, pitched a shutout for 5 innings until he tired in the 6th, and they got 3 off of him. But Jake Fromm right away puts him up 3-0 in the top of the first with a 3-run home run. And it was like a 3/4 swing. He still doesn't have the full strength to really go all out on the swings. And then he almost hit another one in his next at bat. He got robbed of one and went for a sac fly. So he's huge. He's a great shortstop. They put him at first base the other day because he can't play short right now. And if he's able to pitch, you saw him come in and close the game the other day, and that's a huge plus for Georgia moving forward. I think tonight they'll probably go with Trey Odom, the kid that started the first game against Louisiana. And if they can get by Kentucky today, now you're giving Jake Fromm another day to get healthy, and you can have him eligible for a potential 4th-place game to move into the final 3. So I think they're sitting in a good spot. And the healthier Jake Fromm gets, the better chance Georgia has of making a deep run here.
I'm going to put you on the spot here, Chris. Is Warner Robins the most dangerous team in the consolation bracket?
I think them and Keystone are both dangerous, but because of the pitching situation, I like Georgia better right now because I still don't think, if Keystone wins tonight, I still don't think Alex Garber can come back for a game tomorrow night. So, and assuming Fromm doesn't throw today, they might have that pitching option on the table. And when you have a kid that can throw 75, 76 miles per hour and has a good breaking ball too, potentially eligible to pitch in it and a game to get you to the final 3, I'm going to like the chances of that.
We'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the Japan-Mexico game from last night. Maybe the best game we've seen so far. The defense was just phenomenal last night. Is that the kind of stuff you like to see when you come here to Little League World Series?
Definitely. That's what it's all about. And with Mexico and Japan, you're going to see a great game. Whether it was Venezuela, Chinese Taipei, any combination of those 4, you're almost guaranteed to see a great game. Those 2 traditionally, fundamentally sound teams, and you saw that last night. Especially Japan blew me away with a couple other plays early in the game. Especially, I think maybe it was the 2nd inning, the second baseman. One of the kids made a great stop up the middle, flips to the second baseman, and bare hands it. Stuff like that, you're not used to seeing that a lot, and those teams like that make it seem routine. And that's why it's fun, and that's why they're always so tough to beat.
The fun part is we probably see that more here at the Little League World Series than we do in a season over at Bowman Field watching the crosscutters, and those are very good professional players. But here through 5 days, we're starting to sort everything out a little bit, but still a lot of questions left to be answered. You can watch the Keystone game tonight at 8 o'clock on ESPN2. From the Williams Sports Sun Gazette, I'm Mitch Rupert. He's the Dr. Chris Massey. We'll talk to you later.